Hey beauts, and welcome back to Reese's Kitchen. So today we'll be making sweet potato pudding. This recipe you'll need 1 cup of plain flour, half cup of cornmeal, fine cornmeal, 1.5 cup of brown sugar, 2 cups of coconut milk, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon powder, 1 teaspoon of mixed spice, or you can use nutmeg, it's up to you. And we've got the beautiful sweet potato here, 2 teaspoons of butter, and I'll be using 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract and 1 teaspoon of almond water. So after peeling and cutting your sweet potatoes, you then give them a good wash. I will be gratering them, but you can cut them into smaller pieces and blend them if that's what you prefer. But yeah, first I'll be gratering them and then I'll be blending them for a smoother consistency. But you can go straight in with blending them. You don't have to grate them before. Just make sure you cut them into smaller pieces. So I've grated all my sweet potatoes and this is what it looks like. I will be blending this up with 1.5 cup of coconut milk. Make sure when you're getting the sweet potato, it's the red skin sweet potato and not the one you usually find in the supermarket. You can find this type of sweet potatoes in like the Asian shops that usually sells Caribbean products and stuff like that. It just holds the pudding more than the one you'll get in the supermarket. Potato in my blender, I'm now going in with some coconut milk. Remember to just use 1.5 cup of it to blend the whole sweet potatoes. The next half you'll need to make your glaze. So that's my sweet potatoes blended. So to this I will be adding 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract and a teaspoon of almond water. They smell so good. And then just mix that in. And that's my wet ingredients ready. So now it's time to get started on my dry ingredients. So now I'm going in with my flour and cornmeal. I'm using a strainer to help to get rid of any lumps. And now the salt, the baking powder, the mixed spice and the cinnamon powder. So now I will be going in with my brown sugar. Then I'm just gonna mix that in together. Make sure it's well combined before you start adding your wet ingredients. At this stage, you should also grease your baking tin. I'm using an 8-inch baking tin, and also preheat your oven. My oven is preheating at the moment at 170 degrees. So now I will be adding my wet ingredients to my dry ingredients. You want to do this gradually and then mix and, just slowly add it in and mix it all together until it's all combined nicely. Just slowly mix that in and add as you go along. So now I'm going to go in with my melted butter. Just mix that in. When making sweet potato pudding, you can also add some raisins if you like, and a little bit of white rum as well, you know, to give it a little kick. But I won't be adding that today. I'm just keeping it plain, but you can if you like. It's really good, very tasty, and it just adds extra flavors to your pudding. So now I'll be placing my sweet potato pudding in my preheated oven for about 1 hour and 30 minutes. And then I'll come back after that and show you guys what it looks like. My pudding is in the oven. I'm just gonna make my glaze to go on top of it. I've got 1/2 cup of coconut milk here and 1/4 cup of brown sugar and 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon powder. So I'm just gonna add the sugar and the cinnamon powder to my coconut milk and just whisk that in. Make sure they're well combined together. So that's to put on top of my pudding once it's finished, and then I'll be putting it back in the oven after I've added my glaze for a further 15 minutes or so. So yeah, that's it done. So I literally just took out my sweet potato pudding, and this is what it looks like after being in the oven for 1 hour and 30 minutes. So now I'm just gonna go in and add my glaze. Make sure it's well covered. So after I've added my glaze, I will be putting it back in the oven for a further 15 minutes, and then we're all done. So this is how it looks after being in the oven for a further 15 minutes after I've added my glaze. So beautiful, and the smell in my kitchen is so gorgeous. So that's it, beauties. I really do hope you enjoyed watching this video and found it helpful. Until next time, take care and God bless.